Good morning. How are you guys doing? I know some of you are stressed because you didn't get your next essay, which is why I am up recording at the butt crack of dawn, feeding my cats, and getting you your information. So this week, well, this next one, because it's not this week, you got 2 per week. It is a cause and effect essay. So cause and effect is an interesting thing. Something happened because something else happened, right? Something happened because something else happened. So then we could look at it very simplistically. My cats are standing here at my ankles. Matter of fact, they woke me up at 5 on the dot to get their wet food because they get their dry food. They free feed dry food, but their wet food, oh, that's a morning thing. So they get their litter cleaned, they get their wet food, and they get their tummy rubs, right? So they woke me up for that. Now, that's the effect of something. Well, one effect of that, an effect of that, was the fact that they woke me up at 5 a.m. But I wake up at 5. So they just stay on schedule, therefore I stay on schedule. But the original thing that happened was at some point, I must have determined that feeding them wet food in the morning was the best thing. So I trained them to eat at a certain time. They're not going to come bother me for wet food, when I walk in the door from work. Literally, they're not. They're the only ones that actually allow me to decompress from work. So I trained them that way. But what if, because remember I told you they're 11 years old, had them since they were 4 weeks old. What if I had started doing these things when I come in from work? Oh, when I come in from work, I take care of all the things dealing with the cats and stuff. And then what would they do? They would be waiting for me when I come in from work so that they could get their food. Anyway, you got the point. Cause and effect, cause and effect. Something, the simplistic part of it is that something happened to make something else happen. Something happened because something happened, right? So we can look at it like that. You could say, but if we look a little bit deeper into it, you could say, for example, a couple gets a divorce because one of the partners was having an extramarital affair. So are they getting divorced because of the extramarital affair? Okay. Well, did something happen to cause the extramarital affair? That doesn't make the affair right. But when we're talking about cause and effect, what happened? Originally, everything has to go back to some place. Oh, I'm sorry, babies. They're like really like, who's she talking to if she don't give me my food? There you go. There you go. So I wanted to, last time I took you around, you couldn't see, some simplistic cause and effect, right? Simplistic cause and effect. These, my peppers, if you leave them out, these are not jalapenos. They're a different type of pepper, clearly. But they turn red when they're outside in the garden. They turn red like the longer you leave them on the vine. So some of them I got when they were green. Actually, they not even about the vine. As they sit, they turn red, right? These are the ones I put in. So they're whole. That poor pepper died, right? Why did that pepper die? Why did it die? What did I do? Here's garlic, right? Why is the garlic dried like that? Because I put it in the dehydrator. That's the simplistic thing. So therefore it's dried. But simplistic, more simplistic. Dun, 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 dun. here is my plant. You all, these plants are serious. I love these. Anyway, look at my leaves. My leaves are as best as you can see. My leaves are limp. I just noticed it this morning, and then I noticed, hold on, I hope y'all can see it. Look how dry that is. I did not notice. So my leaves are limp and they're dying. This is an interesting type of plant because it doesn't die willy-nilly. As a matter of fact, if a leaf is dying, then it's because a new one is coming out most times. So see how I've got this new baby? Can you see it? I know it's difficult. Where's my new baby? Here's my new baby, right? So usually that means the others are coming out. So over here, this is a one that needed help. This one has a bunch of new babies. See on the bottom? When new babies come, then old ones on the top. On the top. Then old leaves disappear. So I don't know what happened here. I don't even know where all my leaves are. Something's going on. Anyway, they're dry. They haven't been watered. So they're dying. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what else? What else am I gonna say? If I wanted to be deep about it, what would happen? Then I could say, oh, how could I not notice? Do I not have them on the schedule? Is it because I'm so busy? It could be any of those things. So you're writing an essay on cause and effect. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. You figure out how simplistic, how detailed. Know that everything is leading up to you being able to analyze something. So when you're thinking about whatever your cause and effect issue is, perhaps you need to think deep, but not too deep, because remember, I'm not trying to stress you. I want you all to, you're preparing to go into English 1302, right? Where you have to be persuasive, where you have to analyze something. So, but right now we're just learning the basics of writing, but cause and effect should truly make you analyze whatever is going on. So I'm gonna go out there and get some rainwater for my plants. I want the essay, once again, be personal if you want, because I mean, you're personal either way. You can analyze the issue. Like, I believe that people are inherently good, right? And so when something crazy is happening, I always assume there's something going on in the background that I just don't know about. Some people are just rude. Yeah, they're just rude. But some people are rude because something else is going on in their lives. When that person cut you off on the highway the other day, when they cut you off, okay, there's the rainwater, because I was about to get mad at my mama. Like, what you doing with the stuff, man? What are you doing? There's a picture. We just did a new shed. We did this stuff with the shed, and we're turning. So we got to move everything. We moved it all out the shed. Now we got to put it back in the shed. And then we're remodeling the garage, turning it into a little apartment for my mom, because it's time for her to move in. So what am I trying to tell you guys? Your essay, as always, should have a thesis, a point you're trying to make. Absolutely. And then you need to reconnect that in the end. Nothing has changed. All of your essays have that similarity. Okay? If you can do this in 5 paragraphs, do it in 5 paragraphs, but make sure that I understand what's going on. And we're going to use rainwater, and we're going to use a lot of it to perhaps bring this baby back to life. Yeah, I hate when people keep saying but that's the point. Cause and effect. Think about it. Think about childhood trauma. cause and effect. Something happened to someone and they traumatized their child. What is childhood trauma? You can say childhood trauma is something happened and they made something else happen, and then when this person grew up, they have a problem with it, right? They do it themselves, but it's deeper than that, right? It could be deeper than that. There are issues that happen in the background that made whatever the parent, every child, every single child has childhood trauma. You all, every one of you have some type of childhood trauma. My youngest, Nikolai, the one to be dancing to Beyonce, his childhood trauma, number one, he thinks he has to take care of me because he's been watching me take care of his wild and about brothers, right? He's been watching me do everything. So he has it in his mind that he has to be the one that actually takes care of me. So he's constantly got that on his head. You know, at one point he wanted to be a doctor. That's a form of childhood trauma. But also, I didn't know that I did that. Yeah. Childhood trauma, braces. I never finished them, so I got spaces because they took those holes. And look at how my teeth are growing down. And I have aligners, but they hurt. So my teeth still look like this because I won't put my aligners in. Yeah, I'm still on week 1, 6 months later. They hurt. Okay, but childhood trauma. When Nikolai was 4, I don't know what made me think that he wanted to watch The Blob, the 60s version, 70s version, 80s version. My almost 22-year-old son is afraid of the dark, afraid of drains, okay? Childhood trauma. But some of it can be worse. There are children who are murdered, put in freezers, all sorts of things, starved to death because their parents had their own childhood trauma, probably, and were not taught how to love. So therefore, they're directing that same energy onto their children. And their children who innocently don't know anything but how to love. It's sink or swim. So, write your essay on cause and effect, okay? And I won't do such a long video about problem and solution.